Good evening. I'm Jessican, the intern at Lexis and Company, and today I will be talking about alternative dispute resolution. So, starting with it, what is alternative dispute resolution? So, as we all know, that Indian judiciary is one of the oldest judicial system in the whole world. It is a renowned fact, but nowadays it is also well-known fact that Indian judiciary is becoming inefficient to deal with pending cases. Indian courts are clogged with long and unsettled cases. The scenario is that even after setting up more than 1,000 fast track courts that have already settled million cases, the problem is far from being solved as pending cases are still piled up. To deal with such a situation, alternative dispute resolution can be very helpful. It is a very helpful mechanism. It resolves conflict in a peaceful manner where the outcome is accepted by both the parties. So, moving ahead with it, what is the importance of ADR in India? What is ADR and what is its importance? Why are we studying it? So, to deal with the situation of pendency of cases in courts of India, ADR plays a significant role by its diverse techniques. First technique is that alternative dispute resolution mechanism provides a scientifically developed techniques to Indian judiciary which helps in reducing the burden of the courts. Second, ADR provides various modes of settlement including arbitration, conciliation, mediation, negotiation and lok adalat. Negotiating here means that self counseling between both the parties to resolve their dispute, but it does not have any statutory recognition in India till yet. So, and third point is that ADR is also founded on such fundamental rights such as Article 14 and Article 21, which deals with equality before law and right to life and personal liberty, respectively. So, ADR's motive is to provide social, economic, political, and justice and to maintain the integrity in the society as enriched in the preamble. ADR also strives to achieve equal justice and free legal aid provided under Article 39A relating to Directive Principles of State Policy, which is also known as DPSP, as we all know. Now, few important provisions which is related to ADR are: first is section 89 of CPC, which says that it provides opportunities to the people if it appears to court that there exist elements of settlement outside the court, then court formulates terms of possible settlement and refers the same for arbitration, conciliation, mediation or lok adalat. So here it is clearly defined that ADR can be a helpful tool, or ADR is clearly defined here. The act which deals with alternative dispute resolution are actually Arbitration and Conciliation Act and Legal Services Authority Act. So there is no clear mention of ADR anywhere. It is just a mechanism for effective judicial roles. Now, talking about the advantages of ADR, first advantage is that it is less time consuming. People resolve their dispute in short period as compared to courts. It is a cost effective method, as we all know. It saves lot of money. If one undergoes to litigation process, they might be knowing this fact. Second is that it is free from technicalities of courts. Not everyone can afford to buy the technicalities of court, because here informal ways are applied to resolving the dispute. People are free to express themselves without any fear of court of law. They can reveal the true facts without disclosing it to courts. Third is that it is an efficient way. How? Because there are always chances of restoring relationship back as parties discuss their issues together at the same platform. Fourth is that it prevents further conflict and maintains a good relationship between the parties. It preserves the best interest of the parties. So ADR is a very helpful tool. Now, what are the various modes of alternative dispute resolution? So there are various ways. First is that arbitration. So the process of arbitration cannot exist without valid arbitration agreement, which is prior to the emergence of dispute. In this technique, of resolution, parties refer their dispute to one or more person who is called as arbitrator. Decision of arbitrator is bound on parties, and their decision is always called as reward. We all of you must be knowing, who have read the civil laws. The object of arbitration is to obtain fair settlement of dispute outside of court without any necessary delay and expense. So arbitration here means that any party to a contract where arbitration clause is there, one can invoke arbitration clause either himself or through their authorized agent or lawyer. So arbitration clause means a clause that mentions the course of action, language, number of arbitrators, as well as the place to be taken in the event of dispute arising between the parties. So initially, the applicant initiates an arbitration by filing a statement. So it is the whole procedure but let us move forward because the whole procedure is quite long. So second, after the arbitration process, the second process of ADR is mediation. Now, what is mediation? Mediation is an alternative dispute resolution where a third neutral party aims to assist two or more disputes in reaching agreement. It is an easy and uncomplicated party centered negotiation process where third party acts as a mediator to resolve their dispute amicably by using appropriate communication and negotiation techniques. This process is totally controlled by parties. Mediators' work is just facilitate to parties to reach their dispute, you know, of their dispute. Mediator doesn't impose his views and makes no decision at all about what a fair settlement vote should be. The process is very simple here. The mediation works in various stages. These stages are: first, that opening statement must be there; second, joint session; after that, separate session; and at last, the closing. So at the commencement of mediation process, the mediator, he calls the parties and counsels to be present at that time. Initially, the opening is very furnishing, but as we move further, the third technique which I am going to tell you is about conciliation. Now, what is conciliation? Actually, it is not possible for the parties to enter into conciliation agreement directly before the dispute has arisen. So, it is clearly mentioned in Section 62 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act, which provides that party initiating conciliation shall send to other party a written invitation to conciliate under this part, briefly identifying the subject of dispute. Conciliation proceeding shall commence when the other party accepts in writing the invitation to the conciliate. If the other rejects the invitation, there will be no conciliation, no proceeding above the provision clearly states. So it should be an extemporary agreement entered after that dispute. And the fourth and last uh, pro- process of ADR is Lok Adalat. Lok Adalat is also called as People's Court, presiding over a sitting or retired judicial officer, social activist, or member of legal profession as chairman. National Legal Services NALSA, along with other legal services institutions, conduct this Lok Adalat on regular intervals for exercising jurisdiction at different places. Any case pending in regular court or any dispute which has not been brought before the court of law can be referred to Lok Adalat. There is no court fees and rigid procedure is followed there, which makes the process very fast. If any matter is pending in the court out of Lok Adalat, it is settled subsequently. The court fees originally paid in court when petition is filed, so it is also a very effective mechanism. So at last, I would like to end this. Thank you.